Thanks to the support as a channel member, Dara Davis. I've told him twice already. I feel like I'm labouring the point a little bit now. You have got a point. The home shirts are only on sale for 2 more days. They go off sale Sunday, the 7th of March, 2021. Probably never to go on sale again. So if people do want to pre-order them, they probably need to get that done in the next day or two. And if they're watching this in the future, they probably can't buy them at all. I mean, by all means, they could check the link in the description to see if it's still there and still works. But once we get past the 7th of March, there's a very good chance they're gone forever. So get them while they're hot, kids. No, that was a weird thing to say to you on the phone. Hello and welcome to part 52 of Homegrown. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have 2 games for you in the Championship. We're away against Brentford and at home against Middlesbrough. Since you were last with me, this is what's gone on. We obviously won our first couple of games of the season, but it hasn't really gone to that plan since then. We drew against Derby. We got ourselves knocked out of the Carabao Cup. We then lost against Sheffield Wednesday. We did manage to beat Stoke, but then lost against Bristol City before thumping Portsmouth. So I say it's not really gone to the first episode plan, but remember, we're a team that's supposed to be in a relegation battle, and 7 games in, we've already got 13 points on the board. We're sat just outside the playoffs. So actually, it's going about as close to plan as possible. And as a posh fan, I love seeing Sammy Szmodics as the top goal scorer and one of the top players in the division. Flynn Clark in there as well. Very exciting stuff. And of course, Tom Bachelorette-Pitetta is also on there as one of the most booked players in the division. So we've got lots of people contributing towards the player stats stuff. The only other thing that's gone on is I have brought in another player, just one more. Tim Beach has come in from Bolton on a free transfer. He was actually out of contract with Bolton. Blimey, I only just got him in under the wire, didn't I? We need to check VAR. I signed him on the 31st of August. His birthday is 11th of September. Whew, that one was close. I thought I was going to have to release him. I thought I'd made my first mess up of the save. But he is in, mainly because of that 5-star potential. He was out of contract with Bolton. There was talk of us having to pay a £65,000 compensation. But I thought rather than just offering him a contract, I'll offer Bolton nothing and see if they let him go, because Bolton are in worse financial trouble than we are and will probably be quite happy to have him go. And they accepted our offer of 0. And he is now a home player. Other than that, there's just been a few more of the boys go out on loan. We're worse than Chelsea. Look at the amount of players we've got out on loan now. It's absolutely ridiculous, but it does mean we have a first team squad of, I think it's down to 23 players. Now, in fact, Frangos can drop down to the under 23s because he's out on loan for the season. So our first team squad, if it'll actually let me highlight them, my keyboard's still set to the wrong computer. First team squad of 22 people. So 2 for each position. And then if we have a look down in the under 23s, if we get rid of everybody who's unavailable, we've got another, what's this? Another 15 people down in the under 23s, mostly with pretty high potential, including Beach, the guy who's just come in now. And a few more of these will probably go out on loan. But having sort of 23, 24, 25 players available is the goal. So I'm still happy to let more people go out on loan. The more people who can go out and get their first team experience, the more likely we have of someone coming back and being like Renan, who, of course, came in on a free transfer last summer, went out on loan to Solihull Moors, didn't look spectacular with them, but has come back in as a player ready for the Championship, effectively, ready to jump in straight into our first team. So a little bit of first team experience anywhere will do him the world of good rather than sitting in the reserves for us. So without further waffle, let's go and take on Brentford. Of course, we can't play Nathan Curry in this game because he is on loan to us from Brentford. Obviously, at some point, we'll look to bring him back permanently, but he's under contract with them for another 2 years. He's only ever played 10 games for them because we brought him back on loan, and we're going to keep bringing him back, and then eventually we're going to sign him. That's the plan. Agent availability. They want a high fee. He's coming home eventually, Brentford. You may as well just accept it. You got a good deal. You capitalised on us when we were weak. We're not weak anymore. Yeah, we're going to get him back. But this is the team for the Brentford game. We've got Williams in goal, a back four of Bachelorette-Pitetta, Davies, Eli Campbell, because Shea Charles has picked up an injury. He's going to be out for a little while, or has been out for a little while. With, I forget what the injury was that he had. It was a twisted ankle. So it was like a month out he had with that, I think. Campbell will play alongside Davies, though, which is fine. I mentioned before how I wanted Eli Campbell to get more game time. And then Brewerton at right back, Hodgkinson and Bandera in midfield, and then Hamilton and Renan out wide with Cannon and Jessup up front. I like Renan in the team, as you saw in the last episode. I would love to have him in on the left-hand side, but needs must at the moment, which is why he's playing on the right. Partly because Micah Hamilton got a hat-trick from the left wing in his last game, so we're not dropping Hamilton out of the team anytime soon. But also, obviously, we're still missing Zach Redmond. Brewerton's picked up an injury almost immediately, so we will bring Vigar on for him to play at right back. But yeah, with Zach Redmond leaving, there's been a gap on that right-hand side of the attack where Terrell Whitaker had been playing, but Terrell Whitaker, as much as he's been a very important squad member over the years, I don't think he's ever been really more than just a squad member. He's never been a player who's a first name on the team sheet kind of player, and that's something that I think Renan could become. So that's why we're just getting Renan as much game time as we can. Troy Cannon, with a lovely little finish there to put us 1-0 up. Brentford need to be reminded that you can't be offside from a throw-in because this is terrible defending from them. The ball's bounced twice in the penalty area before Troy Cannon's tucked it away there. That is some of the worst defending I've ever seen. But it does put us 1-0 up, and as things stand, puts us up into the Championship playoffs. And Bachelorette Potato is going to try and repeat the trick. Another throw this time. Brentford have realised they are allowed to defend it. I can't get my microphone at the right angle. The thing that it's on is blocking the corner of the screen, and it doesn't usually. And I'm not sure what I've done wrong to make it be in the way it is. But I'm sure we'll be fine. It'll be all right in the end. I should probably focus on the match. I want the microphone close to my mouth, but the bracket thing not in the way. I've done something. I don't know what it is, and I don't care for it. This is why I shouldn't stream from the same desk I make videos from. Because I fiddle with things while I'm streaming, because I'm sat here for hours, and I'll slouch back like this and have to move the microphone with me so you can hear me. Ruined everything. I need 2 separate offices. That's when you know you're getting too extravagant. I need 2 separate offices, one for videos, one for streaming. They need to be set up slightly differently for me. If you do want to see me slouching, though, you can come over to Twitch and watch me do that. Most evenings at about 7 p.m. UK time, twitch.tv/LOLLUJO. Come and watch Kev slouch. What more could you want? We've conceded a goal, and Malik Wilkes is a channel veteran as well. He's been involved in previous saves for me before. I think he was in my Barnsley team in Non-League to Legend a few years ago. So it does pain me a little bit to see him scoring against me. 1-1, and I criticised their defending for the goal, but it's Harrison Davies who's supposed to be tracking Wilkes there, and he really hasn't. And Harrison Davies, I love him still. He is still our captain. He is still a hero. It is now obvious, though, that he's at his level. It's not that we've gone beyond his level. He's now playing at his level. For years, he's been a good Championship defender. Now he's playing in the Championship, where he is still a good defender, but he'll get found out sometimes at this level. Whereas at every level, there you go. There's an example. At every level we've played at previously, he's been so much better than everybody else that it just looks like you've got Virgil van Dijk playing at the back for you, and now we've not. Now we've just got Harrison Davies playing in the Championship. And it does make me wonder about when we get to the Premier League, if we're going to have a difficult decision to make with him at some point, because Campbell has better potential. He's a year younger, I think, than Davies, but he's still showing us 5-star potential, whereas Davies is now capped out at his 4-star current ability, 4-star potential ability. Someone like Vigar's still got 5-star potential, though. We've done him with 2 long throws today. Renan with his 3rd goal of the season. But at some point, am I going to have to make that difficult decision of going with the guys who've got the potential? Because as much as we love Davies, he's not going to be good enough for us in the Premier League when we get there. I'm not ready to make that decision yet. This is ridiculous now with the long throws. We've scored 3 goals from long throws in this first half. I know sometimes we get a little bit of criticism for this in the Streamer Showdown, because every now and again you'll have a game where long throws look mad. I don't think I abuse long throws massively in this series. We have got a couple of fullbacks who are very good at them. We don't normally score 3 goals from them in a half, though. So I think this is just a freak occurrence. Especially because, once again, after the latest update, I have been told that long throws have been nullified in FM a little bit. They're no longer overpowered, supposedly. I don't know if I believe that from watching what I'm watching here, but we're a team that really relies on our set pieces. We've got our big lads. We rely on our set pieces. So we're going to maximise corners and long throws and things. And I don't know. I'd feel weird about turning the long throws off just because some people feel that they're overpowered, because the issue with doing that is I'm then deliberately hamstringing myself. And if they're not overpowered, it's something we've kind of built our team around, being good in the air and being good at these set pieces. And it seems silly to take that out of our arsenal when it's something we're obviously good at. And we don't always score 3 goals from it the way we have today. Wilkes is having a very good game for Brentford. You can tell he's a Kev old boy because of how very talented he is. It's an in-swinging corner now for Brentford. And this time Harrison Davies does get the ball clear. Renan picks it up in midway into our half, but can't shuffle it along the rest of the way to where Jessup was waiting for the clearance and hopefully to toddle off on a little run. Talking of Jessup, I think we're probably going to take him off, bring on Micah Beereth and just swap them around to make him a target man. Similar to how it's been at the start of the last couple of seasons, Beereth a little bit out of favour as we start things off this year because we've gone with other options ahead of him. We started the season with Hodgkinson up front. We've then moved to having Troy Cannon come back into the team after probably 6 months or so as a bench warmer. Troy Cannon has come back into the team in the last 3 or 4 games and is doing very well. Beereth will get his opportunity. We all know Beereth's going to get his opportunity. Danny Pritchard will get his opportunity. Renan will probably have a run playing up front. It's the great thing, and I keep going on about it, but it's the great thing about the way this save works because we can't recycle the squad every summer. These players drift out of the team for a little while and then come back in rejuvenated, or occasionally, like with Callum Cisse, they come back in and it's like, oh yeah, you're not actually good enough anymore, and we have to move them on. Vigar then, can we make it 4 from long throws in this game? Vigar is winding up to hurl this into the penalty area. In fact, he doesn't. Plays it a little bit shorter, and it ends up with Eli Campbell, who plays it into Renan, and then Beereth is there all the time in the world for Beereth, and there's his first goal of the season. They don't come much easier than that. He had time to compose himself, pick his spot, and then just hit it as hard as he could. Brentford's defending in this game has been really, really poor. They should probably get Nathan Curry back to play as a ball-winning midfielder for him. But look at all the time Beereth gets there. 4-2 to home. And I got to say, Brentford only have themselves to blame because there's at least two of those goals should never have happened. And the other 2 were from long throws and they should just defend them properly. I'll take the win, though. I'll always take the win. Just the one change for the Middlesbrough game then. Brewerton picked up that injury in the last game. He's now going to be out for a couple of weeks with a gashed lower leg. Nathan Curry available for selection again. Makes sense to just slot him in at right back. We know he can play there. We can't play him there too much because Brentford get all grumpy about it and want him to play only as a ball-winning midfielder in midfield. But I think we can get away with playing him there while Brewerton's injured. I think that's reasonable. And Bandera's done nothing to suggest he should be thrown straight back out of the side. And Troy Cannon's got 4 from 6 playing up front, so I can't put Hodgkinson back up front anytime soon either. We're getting into cliche territory of it being a nice problem to have. I would say we've probably got 16, 17 players who all seem like they're good enough to play regularly in this division, which is a lot more than I expected when I went through and had a little look an episode or 2 back and identified that we maybe had 4 or 5 that were good enough. Even someone like Mauro Bandera doesn't look out of place at all playing in this division. And he probably started the season as my 4th choice option in central midfield. So there's certainly promising signs, very promising signs from this home team. And Alex Williams, having him in goal is a big difference maker as well. He's been off playing for the England under-20s now. He's graduated from the under-19s that he was playing in before, now with the England under-20s. Presumably any time now we'll step into the England under-21s. He's still only 18 years old, Alex Williams. He is going to be an England goalkeeper one day. He is going to be our Premier League goalkeeper. I just don't think we're ever going to upgrade beyond him. I don't see... We talked before when we had Oliver Wright in goal still, how I was worried that it would be really difficult to bring another goalkeeper through because of the nature of who we're signing, and you'd have to get someone who was 5-star potential but willing to wait. And I think bringing him through in League One is... we were lucky that he emerged when he did. it was the perfect time for Alex Williams to grab his squad spot. And now I think I expect he'll end up being the all-time record appearance holder for the club by the end of the save, because he'll play every game that he's fit for the rest of the save, probably, unless we somehow manage to bring through a young goalkeeper who's even better than he is, which seems pretty unlikely. Davies now at the back, plays it forward, looking for Tommy Jessup, who's never going to win the ball in the air. It's a strange thing to try and get him to do, but Curry's there to collect the loose ball, and it ends up out with Renan on this right-hand side, who plays it forward to Cannon, and then it's back to Nathan Curry, who's coming forward on the overlap. Curry couldn't get the crossover, though. I think Hodgkinson's come across to cover him, though. Those two have been playing together for 10 years. They know each other's game inside and out. Curry playing it forward to Cannon. Cannon slipped away from his man here. Troy Cannon tries to finish. It bounces to Jessup, who also has a shot, but the Middlesbrough defence, a little bit lucky there. I think they've got away with one. There was a lot of fortuitous rebounds for them in that move, but they've lumped the ball forward. Eli Campbell's there again, and Hodgkinson plays it across to Bandera, back to Campbell, and now Curry's got all the space and time that he needs to pick across, and pick across he does, finds Micah Hamilton, but his header goes into the post. We are getting closer and closer to a breakthrough in this game, but after 20 minutes, it is still 0-0. Highlight once again starting with the Middlesbrough goalkeeper this time. Unfortunately, we don't seem to just won the ball back off them immediately, so I feel like this might be a sad moment for us. Cross comes over, there's your goal. I mean, can I just point out who's just scored that goal? What hope have we got in this league? Quincy Promise has just scored against us in a league game. No wonder Eli Campbell couldn't get there ahead of him. I was looking at the team detailed stats on the league in between the two games, and the highest salary per week in the division, I forget who it was, but they were paying £1 million a week in salary, whereas we pay £54,000 a week in salary. We are completely out of our depth. This is a whole new world where clubs can afford to spend in a week what we was very recently spending on salary in a season. And it's the same bunch of players. These are largely the same players who are playing for us in non-league on part-time contracts. And yeah, that's why every now and again we're going to concede a goal, because we haven't got a Quincy Promise in our team. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Well, 1-0 to Middlesbrough then as we hit the half-hour mark, and I think it's probably time for some encouragement. I can't be demanding more in this kind of situation, because what more can they give? They're being competitive against a team that they've got one player in their team who's probably earning more than our entire squad are earning, which is absolutely mad. The fact that we're in the top half of this table, that's an incredible achievement. And I'm not going to moan at the boys for not winning a game like this. It's not necessarily the right attitude that will get us into the Premier League at some point, though. I think Williams has pushed that up onto the crossbar there. I'm putting that down as another Alex Williams save, because I am the king of the Alex Williams fan club, and that is a very good save to push the ball into the crossbar there. And at half-time, it's 1-0. And you know what? We've looked all right. We're ahead on XG. We've for large portions of the game looked like the most likely to score. They've just got that extra bit of money to pay for that extra little bit of class that we're not going to have for many, many, many years. Bacharette Pitetta back to Hodgkinson, and now all the way back to Davies. Davies playing it forward for Jessup, who nods it down to Bacharette Pitetta. It's back into Jessup. Jessup, though, can't force it past the goalkeeper. It was a very nice move until we got to the point where Jessup needed to apply the finish. And Tommy Jessup, I don't know, I'm starting to feel question marks over him as a championship level striker. Troy Cannon definitely seems to have made the step up. Beerif looked exciting, looked promising when he came on in that last game. Maybe it's time to go with Cannon and Beerif again for a little while. And we've given Pritchard the odd appearance off the bench as well. He looks a little out of his depth at the moment. But Beerif scored, and he did it in a very composed way in that last game, which does make me think maybe it's time for another opportunity for Micah Beerif, this time alongside Cannon. And I don't think those two have been my strike partnership for about 2 years. We go through cycles on who my strike partnerships are. Right, what are we going to do here? Davies is tired, which means he's probably going to have to go off on one of his holidays after this game. At some point, he'll stop doing that, hopefully. At 22, he needs to stop getting so tired so often. Right. We are going to bring on Micah Beereth to play alongside Cannon. We're going to put Renan over to the left and bring on Terrell Whitaker on the right. And I think we've got to take off Davies just to try and keep him fit so Andy Hall can come on for him. We've probably already lost this game. Let's not run Davies down into the ground so he has to go off on a holiday. If by sacrificing him for 10 minutes there, I've just demanded more even though I said I wouldn't. If by sacrificing him for 20 minutes at the end of the game, it means he can play in the next one, then it feels to me like it's probably worth doing. We're going to go attack him for these last 10 minutes. We're going to push for an equaliser. Middlesbrough, aside from the goal they've scored, haven't really done anything. And I am feeling a little bit robbed currently. They're in again here, though. And Williams, once again, is equal to it. Alex Williams is going to earn us a lot of points this season. Maybe not today, because we're probably going to lose today. But over the course of the season as a whole, Williams is going to be worth his weight in gold in saves that he makes in situations like that one. Right, encourage. We've got 5 more minutes. Somebody must have a goal in him. It's Nathan Curry with the free kick. He's looking for Beereth, but he couldn't get there ahead of the Middlesbrough goalkeeper. I suspect there was a couple of players offside there as well. So even if it had have gone in, I think it's probably getting disallowed. Bachelorette Pitetta wins the ball back. See, this is the difference we've got that these other clubs don't have. We've got players like Bachelorette Pitetta who've been here for so long and care and really, really want to succeed for the football club. Hall trying to hurl it into the penalty area. Renan is fouled. We've got a penalty. Renan is pushed over in the penalty area in the 91st minute, and Tom Bachelorette Pitetta has the opportunity to score from the spot to level this game, and it's absolutely what we deserve from the game. Come on, Tom, don't mess this up. Bachelorette Pitetta scores. It's home 1, Middlesbrough 1, and we definitely deserved it. And the goal couldn't go to a nicer chap. Question marks over him at the start of the season. The question marks are gone. He's back in as a nailed-on starter again, and he's just shown nerves of steel by scoring the penalty that grabs us a much-needed point as we continue to try and accumulate points to get to 50 as quickly as possible to secure our survival. 17 points on the board now, and things are looking good. In tomorrow's episode, in fact, it's not tomorrow's, it's Sunday's episode. Sunday's episode, we're going to play Peterborough in the league in this series for the first time. Our local derby. It's going to be very, very exciting. So we've got that on Sunday at 11 o'clock. And I hope you come and join me for that. And don't forget as well, the other thing about Sunday is that's the day the shirts go off sale. So you want to order yourself a shirt if you want to get a shirt. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos, and thank you very much for watching.